since then, CDs and DVDs, you know, it's all the new stuff. Plus, maybe a lot of people don't have their vinyl anymore because they don't have a vinyl record player.
Right.
So anyway, the whole thing, plus having the new band members and wanting to show them to our fans, and the whole idea behind it was to kind of update everyone's record collection with CDs, and for Europe we even had this special DVD of our show, which was also actually a milestone in Crocus's career, to be invited on the Montreux Jazz Festival, which is actually a festival which contains rock since Deep Purple.
Right, and I don't know whether you agree with me, but my feeling was Rock the Block really brought Crocus back, you know, on the map there from a studio album, and I always felt Fire and Gasoline was tremendous because you recorded it also with today's technology, so people could hear live even better recorded really those songs there and get the whole feeling what's going on. And all these things are stepping stones, so that was obviously a stepping stone at that time.
Yeah, you're right. It really sounds good.
In the 80s you had like Headhunter, Von Weiss, Hardware, all those things. Those are considered classics, some of these. How do you feel being called a classic?
Well, the classic, I think something classic has a touch of respect to it, you know. It's not called an oldie foldy, an holy moly, old fogey, or
you're old fogey,
or an old fart.
Yeah, right.
I'd rather be called a classic. I mean, you know, I love classic cars, classic motorbikes, all the classic artwork and everything. So I'm a piece of moving classic natural technology.
That's right. And we cherish you for that.
Thank you.
One of the things also that came to mind now going on with this, when you look at, there's a lot of rock stars from 70s, 80s and stuff like that that had a good vocal range. They cannot go up anymore, like 3 octaves, for instance, like you can do. What do you do to your voice? I personally feel, having watched you for 35 years, your voice has become stronger and stronger and stronger. And at your tender age, you still belt out 3 octaves a range, you know, like that.
Yeah.
How do you maintain that? How have you been able to go even higher and higher and higher and get better and better and better at that? Do you have a ritual, or do you have a secret, or is like some little well, you know, there where you get the water out, like the holy water?
Yeah, I think it's a mixture of both. It's the ritual is, first of all, being fit, staying fit, eating food that is healthy, you know, and not junk food or anything like that. Using my energy at the right time, you know. As we were talking earlier, like there's a time for a siesta and a time to get up, have a coffee and go.
Right.
And when I go, I'm really fast, and there are times in the day where I'm really slow, and I know that. And during those times, like sometimes it's just before a sound check.
Right.
You know, I have to really psych myself up and not give too much. Better not to strain and leave it be than to try to go too fast, because then if you strain, it takes weeks to recover.
Right.
You know, easy, simple things actually. It has nothing to do with becoming a health freak or anything. I don't smoke cigarettes, except other people smoke when I'm in a crowded bar, you know. And the secret, which I will not tell you, is a secret. So it's got to stay a secret, and it has nothing to do with gargling with salt water, Mediterranean water, or anything like that. Or
grappa, even.
And it has also nothing to do with gargling with grappa and drinking it or anything like that. It's a secret, so I don't want to tell you.
Right, there you go. And since I'm at the band, I have the privilege naturally to be around you before the gig. Fans don't see that. And I know I call you on the spot now, but I got this idea just while we were talking. I totally admire you with your vocal range exercise that you do. Can you do that, just a little bit of that? Because fans will never, ever, ever, ever see that.
Okay, well, you know, there's something which I learned a long time ago. You know, these Tibetan monks do it, and it's a part of yoga and so on, and that's to relax the diaphragm and your abdominal muscles and everything. So you go like this. I can't do it right now because I usually drink hot tea before. So it's not happening, right?
It's not happening.
You know, it's a kind of
But it
drone.
gives them the idea, basically.
And actually, if you watch the film Anouk, which I'm not allowed to talk about, so I'll tell you all about it. It's
He's a movie star too.
it's finished.
All right, big
Thank you.
attention on that.
See you later.
We always get asked, how is Crocus picking their songs for the concert day? You have so many strong songs over basically 15 studio albums, actually 10 that you performed on. And out of those 10 albums, there's so many songs we could always request. How do you pick a set list for a live set?
Well, first of all, we go over the classics and sort out which ones we want to play out of those, and then we look through the newer material, always the last album first, and see what's playable live, because some albums you have songs which are not playable live, you know, or they just don't make sense for live, you know. But
Or in the
time,
sequence don't blend together.
Yeah.
Right.
On this one, we had a really big problem because every song on the new album Hellraiser is playable live. So we said, what should we do? Play the whole album? You know, just put it onto the set. But actually, songs are like wine. You know, the longer you listen to them, like leave them in the cellar.
Right.
But the longer you watch the bottle, the more you want to drink it.
Right.
They get ripe, and the ripeness is actually the sentimental value. You know, you hear a song at a party, you hear a song at a certain season of the year. If you're on the beach, you know, you remember the friends you were with when you heard the song. And so on and so forth. We listen to what fans' requests are, and that's also difficult because we'd like to please everybody, especially our fans, because without them we're nobody.
Right.
And it makes it difficult knowing that we're leaving this or that song out, and this is a problem with all bands.
Right.
You know,
but it's hard to choose it because I know it from the Globe Club. There's people. You can do whatever set list, and if somebody says, well, do this and this, I was thinking of 10 hours of concert, and then we get them maybe all in there. A lot of bands, as a follow-up question, a lot of bands, when they go on tour, like we're on the Hellraiser tour right now, they play pretty much their best of stuff and maybe 2 or 3 songs. We have in that set 7 new songs there, which is rather unusual, wouldn't you say, for a band to have that much of a total set and new stuff?
Yeah, that's true.
Why is that?
Well, you know, they're good songs, and we've had a lot more airplay than we've ever had before. So I guess people are familiar with them. Plus, we have so many hooks in these songs, and I think it's easier to play songs with hooks for the first time to an audience, because there might be a couple of hundred people out of 1,000 who didn't hear a certain particular song, like maybe Hangman, you know, or Spirit of the Night. But I'm sure the majority, you know, I would say everybody knows Angel of My Dream, you know. So that's definitely always gonna be in there, because it's not a radio single or a pop song. It's still a rock song. It's Crocus, you know.
And the new album really is still what fascinates me. What fascinates me,
yes,
is still Crocus, and yet this is the first time really where, looking at from a fan's perspective that looks through all that, all the members except Stefan that really just joined when the creative part of composing